today we are going to be covering the new F1 car liveries. So we're going through each of the liveries and I'm going to sort of explaining them and we're going to sort of have a look really. I'll try and put a photo up of each one so you can have a look as well if you've not seen it yet. So the first livery that was released for the 2022 cars was Haas. So they have released their VF22, which is their challenger for this season. It wasn't the most spectacular launch, I'm not gonna lie. They basically just released the digital renderings onto their social media accounts. There was no kind of video, there was no launch. It was just the photos essentially. So we do have yet to see it in person or live, but obviously pre-season testing will be our first chance to look at it. For the actual livery, it's pretty similar to last year's. It's all mainly white with the red and the blue on there. Nothing crazy. I didn't think anyone would expect anything to be massive this year. Haas did claim last year that they're putting all their focus on this car, so we obviously do have to hope that this car is going to be impressive, because obviously they said they sacrificed their 2021 season for their 2022 car, so we will have to wait and see how it actually performs, but hopefully pre-season testing will give us a bit of an idea. Next up, we've got Red Bull's car. So Red Bull released their RB18 from their Red Bull Racing Technology campus. See, Red Bull, never very adventurous with their liveries. It doesn't mean I don't like it. I do love it. I do think it's great. It's very classic. It's very classic Red Bull. But yeah, nothing really too different from last year. Some people have said that the front of it and the nose particularly resembles the Indy car, which is fair enough. The Oracle are their big title sponsor this year. Obviously they've got that on the side of their car. The one thing I do think about Red Bull is they're getting a lot more sponsors on there. It is kind of making it look a little bit messy rather than just having the iconic Red Bull logo on there. Obviously the big change this year is Honda are no longer the supplier for Red Bull anymore. So the Honda logo is gone from the rear wing, which is probably the biggest change of what's missing. But yeah, other than that, pretty simple, pretty the same, just a little bit untidy maybe with all the sponsors, but I guess I have to make money. Next one up, we have the Aston Martin Challenger. So this is their AMR22. They had a very snazzy car launch, I think, I have to say. They had all the light show and everything. It was rather long, but then I guess car launches are always going to be long because you always have to have the important people there. Essentially, so this was live from Silverstone, which is obviously where Aston Martin are based. I do really like this car, I'm not gonna lie. I love how they've slightly changed the main green, so it's a little bit more of a richer standout colour, so it doesn't, when it goes past, it doesn't look so much like the Mercedes with the black now. So I really do like that. I love the new lime green line they've got going through there. I think that does look really smart. One big talking point from the Aston Martin launch, Seb's hair. I'm gonna have to put a photo of this so that you didn't see it. He needs to tell us what he's using for his hair, because his hair's changed so much. He's grown so much more hair since 2021 season finished. Like, he looks so much younger. So, Sebastian Vettel, if you're watching, let's be honest, he's not. But, you know, we need to find out what he's doing with his hair, because I'm sure plenty of the other men around the F1 would love to know what his secret is. Next up, we've got McLaren. So, McLaren released their MCL 36 Challenger for 2022. They did a live launch from their McLaren Technology Centre. This was hosted by Sky Sports, so we had Natalie Pinkham and Karun Chandok who are hosting it for us. There are quite a few noticeable changes to this year's livery, and a lot of people have been saying it's a bit of a Marmite car. You either love it or you hate it. Personally, I love it. I'm a big fan of this. I love how they have slightly changed the papaya orange. You've still got the iconic colour of the McLaren, but it's a little bit lighter. It's more fluorescent, I think. And I do love the baby blue stripe that they've added in. I know a couple of people said it's a bit messy, but I think it really finishes it off, and especially on the wheel covers as well. I love how they've just added a different colour there. I think it just breaks up really, and then makes it a lot more, you know, just different. Why not? We love a change. I do think this is probably my favourite one so far, especially for the ones that have changed. There's a couple that have gone back to sort of the more iconic liveries, which I love, but I do love McLaren's change. I'm a big fan of that, so tick from me. Next up, we have got Tauri. So Tauri did a digital launch to launch their AT03. They did videos released on their social media rather than a live launch. There are a few changes to Tauri. I mean, it's very consistent with last year. I've just got the logo, very similar colour schemes, but I love the way on the Tauri who they have developed their livery and their logo to sort of fit around the car. So there's one particular bit on the side where it's curved, and I think it's really nice how they've managed to sort of fit the AlphaTauri writing across that. I think that looks really smart. The back half of it, I have to say, is pretty much exactly the same as it was before. I don't think there's any real differences there. But one big difference on the front wing, they've got the AlphaTauri writing, which I think looks really sleek. I think that looks really cool. And how they've split it up, yeah, that's nice. But yeah, still pretty consistent to how it was before, so no big real change here. Next up is Williams. So they didn't do a live launch to release their FW44. They did a pre-record, which they then released onto their YouTube and socials. So it wasn't live launch, it was like a full launch, which was nice. This is a big change, I have to say. I think it's a pretty big different car that they've got here. I do love how they have got that really like nice royal blue. I think that's really good. Obviously keeping to the blue, which obviously is the traditional Williams colour, which I think is great, and I'm loving how they've sort of varied it. So they've now got the light blue in there, and there's the little peaks of red, which I think are really nice, especially when you look at it from the top. You can really notice the red, and I think it just makes such a big difference to the car. It's a lot more standout than the 2021 car. The 2021 car is very basic and plain, but I feel like this car is a lot more different. It's got a few more little quirks, which is great. We'd love to see it. Next up, we have got the Ferrari. So Ferrari did a live launch from their Maranello base in Italy, which was hosted by Sky Sports again. They released their F175 car. I know I keep saying this, I really like it. They've pretty much enriched their previous liveries. So the red is a much darker red, more like a deep wine red, which I think just makes it so sophisticated and so sleek. And they've also added on the black to the rear and the front wings, which I think is a really subtle change, but it really just completely finishes off, makes it a lot more elegant, very elegant, very sophisticated, very sleek. I think it's a very sophisticated, proper old school Ferrari livery, which is great. Next up is Mercedes W13. So the silver arrows are well and truly back. Mercedes have gone back to their silver livery as opposed to the black one that they've been sporting for the last 2 seasons. They are now gone back to their team colours being silver and black, which I think is just proper full iconic Mercedes colours. It's just so nice to see the silver arrow back. Obviously there's a lot more reasons and a lot of content behind why Mercedes have gone back to their silver arrows. Obviously they went to the black to support the Black Lives Matter movement. They're now reverting back to the silver, but obviously they made sort of a big statement about why they decided to do that. Obviously Mercedes, they basically said that they're widening their talent pool to support initiatives to increase diversity within the Mercedes company. They've got more diverse and inclusive team, therefore the colours are now silver and black. So still keeping the black there, but obviously back to the silver. Yeah. This is probably one where I love how they have changed it, obviously it's not black, but they've changed it back to what it used to be, which I think is great, because I think the silver, and there's a couple of photos that we've seen, but I think it really does just reflects perfectly. It just radiates the perfect colour that we're wanting to see, which is great to see it back. Last and certainly not least, we have got Alpine. So Alpine have got their A522. They did a live show from Paris. They have got a striking new livery. It is predominantly blue, but it's also got the pink highlights. Obviously this is all because of their title sponsor, BWT. Now obviously it's great to see the colours are there, but I do kind of get the feeling that this Alpine is slowly becoming a sponsor's car rather than an Alpine car. I mean, if you look at it, you're more likely to think it's, especially if you're new to Formula 1, you're more likely to think it's a BWT car than an Alpine car. I do like the pink, and I love how they also released a second car, which they'll be running for the first 2 races this season, which was predominantly, essentially the pink and the blue swapped. So it's predominantly pink car with the blue highlights, which I love, because who doesn't want a pink car, you know? But yeah, with their initial car, they were driving for most of the season, it is just annoying that it's sort of become a very sponsor heavy car. We've also got those red sponsor rectangle bits on there, which they kind of ruin it for me, I'm not gonna lie. This maybe is one that I don't love so much. I love the idea of it, but it just, the sponsors, obviously the sponsors are very specific about what they want, but it's just hard to see it sort of when it just kind of got a random red, someone just gone and gone, here you go, have a red sticker, and it's like, doesn't quite work. But they have to get their sponsors, which is fine, but I just wish they could have had it in like pink or blue or something. Having the random red sticker on there just kind of ruins it for me. But yeah, no. thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'll be bringing you lots more F1 content soon, as we've got pre-season testing getting underway shortly. And then we'll sort of do a big build up to the start of the season in March from Bahrain, which is so exciting. I hope you're as excited as me. If you are, give us a subscribe, make sure you tick the bell to get notified when I post new videos, and we'll see you in my next one. Thank you, bye.